everyone, and welcome back to Patch Notes. We are in Season 4, and it is the first episode of Season 4. I do not have to wonder what episode it is because we all know we came off a break. It was refreshing. We are recharged.
First episode
I lost 10 pounds since I was last on camera.
Pounds, so just...
I gave WolfClock all of my pounds. Yeah, it's this intermittent fasting thing that Vindy got on. So if Vindy ever gives you advice, viewer, remember there's a decent chance you can lose.
3 out of 3 guys will agree with you.
Yeah.
Depending on your sample size.
I also intermittent fast, but I just eat a lot in between my windows. So.
I family friendly show, so I don't do the eating thing a lot when I'm not fasting. But there's another way empty calories enter my body. But one thing that doesn't empty my body is empty gaming, because all of my gaming is wholesome, fully nutritious, full of righteous gamer energy. On that note, what have we been playing? What have we been filling our brains with?
Well, you're the one that has the most nutritious
diet, the best
from the sounds of
so,
it.
I do have a reasonably well-rounded gaming base. I got back into Hunt Showdown a little bit with this one friend. It's like a Tarkov in the Louisiana Bayou with like demons that you have to exorcise, and then you defend the exorcism location as the banishment takes place, and then other people like try to get you. It's an extraction shooter, but it's a looter shooter. That's kind of exciting. I played a narrative-based game called Phoenix Springs. It was all right. It was artistic. I don't give like a full-throated endorsement. It was mostly me procrastinating things I needed to do with my life in a way that was like exciting. So a fine game if you're into like narrative stuff, and then it's like a detective game, and then there's a twist at the end, and you're like, oh, it was this the whole time, and that was cool. I liked it, but I am prouder about reaching Emerald 3 in TFT.
Hey, let's go.
Emerald Brothers, but also Platinum Initiate. WolfClock Gaming has hit the big time in TFT. How does it feel?
It feels fantastic. Like, obviously, I've been grinding because I'm locked out of David's ranked lobbies. I'm like, I can't do this. Like, I need to catch up.
Not anymore.
That was like the main motivation. But
we have a month to play together.
And then this guy, he puts it in our chat. He's like, Emerald. Like the morning that I'm like, oh, I was that close to getting platinum before he got Emerald.
Yeah,
but whatever.
I don't like look up MOBA build, like meta builds or anything, and I figured out a cheesy little win streak with Conqueror that I can almost 90% force.
Can I guess that it involves re-rolling?
Oh, of course. Everything I do involves
re-rolling.
Yes. But it's basically re-roll 3-star Singed into 3-star Draven and put...
Interesting.
Oh, and the Rel is the other Sentinel?
It is a one
cost re-roll. But what you do is you put any tier item on the Singe, and he casts within the first 2 autos. And since Draven also does the most damage in the first 3 seconds, Draven will always get the attack speed buff. With a Guinzu, he'll have stacks 5 times as faster than he would just by standing there autoing. And then, for the more fun of it, I don't backline him. I frontline him, second hex to the very right.
Draven?
Yes.
Interesting.
Because he's a pit fighter.
Yeah, so he gets the
and half the time I play in the game, I have something that modifies his health.
Sure.
And since I'm re-rolling, he's always 3-starred. So I
put
Singe top right, Draven second to the top right, and Draven by the 3rd unit he's killed, he kills the backline enemy carry who's backlined.
Oh yeah.
It's just disgusting.
That's pretty sick.
I took first, second, first.
Wow.
Emerald.
All through plat?
Yeah.
Plat.
I have not heard of that tech. That's really sweet.
Yeah, I literally
We should play in the same lobby. We should all play in the same lobby.
We can now.
I will not challenge your comp.
Yeah, it's pretty disgusting. The only time it falls off really hard is if there's another Draven reroller, because then I'm spending too much gold.
Yeah, but now that you're an Emerald, there will almost certainly never be another Draven reroller.
Not necessarily, because family, I guess, with Conqueror is like super busted.
Family, because Violet is a pit fighter, and if you're rerolling for Violet, then you'll get
all my 1 and 2 stars are 3-starred.
Well, so if you hit it before the family player is going, because you're going mostly Conqueror, then
what happens is I get dizzy. I get dizzy whether I'm going 6-4 or 4. If I'm going what I'm going 6-4 with. Am I 6-4 Conqueror or 6-4 Pit Fighter? That's when I get really dizzy and I have to like make the decision. Sometimes the game makes it for me and it's easy.
Mordekaiser drops. Oh, there we go.
Yeah. And sometimes it's not. And it's really interesting. But yeah, it's super consistent. It's super
Sounds
consistent. It's like it's unfair.
It's cool you can't-
they actually just nerfed Draven's attack speed.
Yes.
But it still works.
Well, I don't know.
Well, they buffed.
They just did
They
it
buffed
now.
Pit Fighters though. So
Yeah. So it might the Pit Fighter variant might be
Yeah.
something more to move towards.
think
But
that would be.
yeah, it's
Do you ever give him Omnivamp at all, or is it just attack speed?
The Pit Fighter has the Omnivamp.
Oh, it does.
Yeah, it's built into the
Oh,
trait.
okay.
Yeah. Actually, I was playing in a lobby and someone messaged me. They said like, "Hey, IE does not work with spinning axe."
I didn't know that.
interesting.
I didn't know that
realize.
either.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
said, "Yeah, Google it." I didn't Google it, but I do believe
Yeah.
it because
Yeah.
like
That's
most,
nice.
Most people
Is it
like
not considered an ability then, or something?
I think it's an attack modifier, and so for some reason, only the base damage crits, not the modified axe
Interesting.
damage, which would make sense. He's a 1-cost unit. I could see that
Yeah,
being
yeah,
like
the thing.
applicable, which is also why it says to build Deathblade and Giant Slayer, not IE.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
The first 3 items are typically the best.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I always just built crit because it
Yeah,
just made
yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
I got.
Because if I don't hit, I can pivot out and throw IE on Mbessa. And so, like, you know, that's the other thing, too, is the comp is flexible.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
If you don't go the Pit Fighter variant, you can kind of be like, all right, well, now
Yep.
this 3-star Draven
Either
and
way, you're going to
Conqueror-
have a good early game,
Yeah.
but if you're not getting fed the units, then it's just like pivoting is going to be
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
Plus, I mean, Emissary is a great. Quick Strikers is great. Both those comps you could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quick Strikers has been.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Quick
I
Strikers is
never
funky.
play Quick Strike.
Quick Striker right at release was pretty weak. Then they buffed it and it got OP.
bugged.
Then they.
It's bugged right now.
What's the bug?
If the same way that Mundo Bruiser is bugged, you have to reset the unit every time. You have to bench them and put them back on your board, or else it won't work.
Wait,
Real-
what doesn't work?
Quick Fighter. So if you
Quick
go like
Stri-
4, if you go 4 Quick Fighter, which is like what makes Quick Fighter really strong.
Striker. Yeah. Yeah.
Quick
Makes
Strikers.
Quick Striker.
Yeah.
You have to replace the spatted unit every time.
Oh, what?
Yeah,
That's
or else
really-
it doesn't count.
Gross.
Yeah, it doesn't count.
Interesting.
Ew.
That's why it's felt weak for so long.
So
And it's still bugged.
looks
It's
like
still bugged right now.
It
Interesting.
looks
Still
like
bugged right
it's
now.
working, but it's not.
Yeah. It shows 4, but it's not giving you the attack speed of 4. And also, Bruiser on Mundo specifically does not give you the bonus health unless you pull him out and put him back in.
That's really
insane.
interesting.
We've had issues like this for almost every set where like you have to reset units.
I'll make a note to
I
pull
don't know
out
why
because
that
I never do.
happens. I don't know why that happens.
Why has no
Yeah.
one called Mord out on this?
No, people know it's just a bug that's been in the game, and I guess for some reason they can't figure it out. Yeah.
That seems weird.
I can't remember.
But
there-
that's why quick strikers, if you're like, dude,
Yeah.
I Omega high rolled.
yeah,
How
yeah.
did I barely top 4? You don't have 4 quick striker.
That's insane.
I should have probably messaged you guys that. Like that's.
Maybe.
that's
I mean,
like,
I don't run it often, but I have run it.
my
yeah.
last
couple
first
times
was
where I'm like, oh, I thought this was supposed to be better, but
my last first was a Quick Striker Akali. For Quick Striker, I got 7
Three-star
Akalis.
Akali?
I got 7 Akalis naturally without rolling
Wow.
before 3-1. There was
Wow.
one other person who was rolling for Akali. I then rolled a little bit. The last 2 took a bit, but I finally got it. By the end, it was me and a Zeri player because Zeri is still kind
Zeri's
of busted.
so busted right now.
And all it took was like he won twice, but I had a bunch of health, and it just took me rearranging Akali enough so that there was one fight where she dashed to Zeri and was able to take her out instead of just getting caught on the front line, and then I took the first. But yeah, I love Rebel. I got to plat by just abusing Black Rose in the early set.
Rose
Black
is
Rose
so
was
good.
busted.
early Black Rose was like
Early
you
Black
were
Rose was
top
busted.
3 in
Yeah,
every game.
exactly. And I was. So that's what got me to plat. And since then I've been doing like I had a little bit of sorcerer like
That's
a
the
couple
best
of weeks
composition.
ago.
Sorcerer
It's
got
right
Slaughter. They're no good anymore.
there. I mean, a lot of people just like
They're
contest
still-
it,
they're
but
still really good.
they're still pretty decent.
Swing got neutered pretty bad in the back.
Yeah, backlane Swain.
Yeah.
but
More
dude,
recently, I've been
Sorcerer's
doing Experiment and then Rebel. I love Rebel.
Experiment Twitch is supposed to be really busted.
It is. Bruiser Frontline and then Twitch, because you don't even need.
I took 7th with the 7 experiment game.
Yeah, 7 experiment's good, but you don't even need 5 experiment to do well with Twitch. You could just run 3 experiment and you get his little bonus.
I didn't play Twitch. I played Urgot reroll with permanent
With Tristana?
health. Nope, permanent health per interest. So my
Oh,
Urgot,
yeah.
and I had triple Sterix.
Yeah, yeah.
He had 9,000 HP. I took 7th.
What?
Whoa.
I'm like, dude, this must be the most high roll lobby of all time.
It must have. Because
I had
Urgot's crazy.
Not only did I have Biss, I had Omega level one punch, God Emperor,
Urgot,
Thanos, all Infinity Stones, Urgot. I took 7th.
No.
It's like, okay, whatever. Nothing makes sense anymore.
But you got Emerald.
Marvel Rivals.
Yeah, yeah.
You've been playing Marvel Rivals? Don't give me that bull.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
No, but we played briefly for a little
Everyone
while.
quit.
But it's a good game
Yeah. Why aren't we playing it?
because it's too frustrating.
Summer's Rift. It has them.
It's too frustrating
I just
Like, how
remember,
so?
yeah.
because the roles do not have their own agency in a game like that. And whereas, like in a game like League of Legends,
Yeah.
you get your laning phase, you get individual agency.
I see.
But I'm required, as the type of character I like to play in Marvel Rivals.
Yeah.
I'm required to rely on a healer. So like I'm required on another person, and
You just don't like
I
team
don't-
shooters.
Right.
Well, I guess I would like it more if I had a full stack, but I'd want a full stack every single game.
Yeah, so you probably
Yeah.
just
It
don't like
can't-
team shooters.
Right.
Well, maybe I would.
So I think that's the.
Yeah, you're right. I don't like team
You
shooters.
won't play Valorant with us. So.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't need much healing, right? But Sage isn't that. I mean, like
Valorant's just different. Valorant's just an FPS,
is
and it's like I just don't like.
he doesn't really like Valorant. You do pretty well at it.
I know that's the thing. It's like I'm not even
sad.
half bad for the amount of energy I put
We
into
played some
it.
Valorant recently and had like some good times. Our first
We
games.
have a positive win rate, right?
Yeah,
now.
yeah, we do.
I would play
Our
the game,
comeback.
but oh, here we go.
Here we
We're
go.
putting it on the stream. I don't like
Yeah.
playing Valorant with you.
That's all right. That's all right. Do I tilt too hard?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, to be
recently,
fair,
yeah.
David hasn't tilted at all since I've been playing.
That's true.
That's good.
Recently, I have not tilted at all.
Yeah.
Even when
Valorant
we
is
ran
different
into
because,
like
like, you
some
don't-
characters online, right?
Yes,
Like,
yes,
Remember
we-
that pair, that boy and that girl, and he was
Yes,
getting so
yes.
jelly.
Because like I would say one nice thing about this girl's shooting because
he was trying to rizz up this girl. Let's be honest.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah,
Sometimes I don't realize when I do things naturally, but I just happened to compliment her first,
Yeah.
and then the guy that was playing with her got really defensive.
Yeah, he was.
I can't remember what was it for. Like, don't talk to her. You don't say
Trying to
that.
make
Why are you
fun
so
of
weird?
them
Yeah,
and
yeah.
everything.
But then I started
But you handled it
complimenting.
super well.
Yeah, I just stopped talking about her and I started complimenting him the whole time, and then he got really bashful, or he got weirded out,
He did
or
get a
both.
little weirded out.
Yeah, he got a little weirded
I was
out.
just having a great old time. I was
Yeah.
laughing the whole time.
It was
Well,
good.
I find it funny because Valorant's your pride and joy game too, but like you don't get tilted in TFT. I've never heard you once do anything.
How
but,
can
like,
you get tilted?
There
in
was
TFT?
a game I got tilted in,
You
but
should
like
talk to my wife.
part of it is I'm like decent at TFT and I'm bad at Valorant. So like when I get angry playing Valorant, it's partly angry at my own
Would you ever watch
lack
like
of
competitive
skill.
TFT? Like high? You
I
guys?
would.
Regionals
I
is
just
Friday.
Don't know how.
I watch a little bit, but I am more excited about
Let's hang out at
competitive
my
Valorant.
house Friday.
Friday?
And watch regionals.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Or-
Wait, have you ever? Do you
That's
see how they
NA
watch it?
regionals then, or like Midwest
Yeah,
regionals?
it's North
or-
America to get into Worlds.
Ah,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Do you know how they like broadcast a TFT tournament? They have a
No.
special tool, so it's actually really cool.
Oh,
How you
nice.
can actually pretty well follow along. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I
what's-
mean, I watch all of these now that I'm actually taking the game seriously, right?
Yeah.
I'm watching all these analytical videos
oh,
on it,
okay.
you
Yeah.
know?
Do you watch Leduc?
No, I don't think
Oh,
so.
okay. He's
Yeah.
pretty good.
Is he?
Yeah. Remember, North America, we're actually the best. We are the best at
Yeah.
TFT.
Well,
in the world.
and most
Yeah.
of the VOD reviews are North American players.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah,
once
yeah.
in a while, they'll review like a Chinese player or a North
Yep.
Korean
Yeah,
or
yeah,
a South Korean player.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Dish Soap is considered by many to be the current best player in the world.
Yeah,
So
that makes a lot of sense.
he's really good.
He's great during oil spills too. Saved a lot
He's
of ducks'
really good.
lives.
I really
Yeah.
just want to twist.
If we do a TFT viewing party, we should also do a Valorant viewing party because it is Valorant Masters Bangkok season.
It's impossible for me to watch tac shooters.
Well, you can play TFT while Forrest and I watch.
Okay.
It'll be really cool.
In the basement, I'll just set up a TV down there. And
I don't really care what you do. I mean, we'll be in the area because we like you, but I'm gonna be like freaking out at the show. To be fair, because it's
maybe it'll get your interest in the game a little more. You never know.
Yeah. What's most likely to happen is that I am just going to keep waking up early because it's in Thailand time. And so the first game is at 4 a.m. and the second is like usually at 7. So I usually miss the first game and watch the VOD of it if I liked them, and then like watch a little bit of the second one.
Don't even watch the VOD. Just watch the highlights, man. That's way
depends on the
I
game.
can't even watch full League of Legends games, bro. Like, there's no way. There's no way I can watch Valorant.
I watch full sets of Smash Brothers.
I could watch Valorant. I could watch Valorant Grands. I could watch just about anything.
League of Legends games don't take as long as it. No, they don't take longer than TFT games, right? They're about the same amount of time. Is it just
single round? Yeah.
Is it just that there's more going on in a TFT game when you're going through all the boards?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a ton going on. There's way more dead space in a League of Legends viewing thing than there is in like a TFT, because how they do it is I think they have some sort of expected value thing that's running in the background, and so
what do you mean by that?
They know somehow, without just their own memory, they have some sort of program that tells them who's about to hit.
Oh,
interesting.
And so they will watch certain boards.
Of course, Riot has all the analytics on that.
Yeah,
so
I don't know how they do it, but they have some sort of
AI predicting
So they'll
that.
follow like, oh my gosh, this guy hit the nuts for his comp. We're going to circle back to him like every 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Why he's rolling down.
They also know like who they're gonna fight next, right? I would imagine
Pros,
they would know.
there
that.
are ways to figure it out, but you can't know with exact certainty until top 4.
Okay.
Yeah. But
I'm saying like the
they used to have
broadcasting tools, right? They probably have insight on that.
I don't think they do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, if you guys want to come watch regionals on Friday,
that'd
I'll
be
have
sick.
some food.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
That'd be fun.
Is it like in the evening?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
it's
yeah. Wait, hit me up in April.
Yeah,
Right.
for sure.
Maybe take a sick day, you know?
Anyways, yeah, it's
not for TFT. You take a sick day for Valorant so that you can wake up at 4 a.m. with me. I will take a sick
time off I want. So
would you take
put that on
Would
me.
you take a sick day?
put that evil on me.
Would you take a sick day so that you can wake up at 4 a.m.?
No, I mean I can't do 4 a.m. ever.
Yeah. What if I like come
I just don't
ring your
do that.
doorbell?
I just don't do that.
Yeah.
What about the Packers and the Super Bowl?
No, wouldn't care.
If they had a Super Bowl in Thailand and you
4
had to
a.m.
watch.
So I had to do that growing up in high school when it was hunting season. Because my dad would, get us up, and I'd get up 3:30 in the morning or whatever. We had to go find a spot.
You're not even awake.
Right.
You're just like
and
automata.
I'm so over. I had to do that for 4 years straight, and I'm just like, no, this
Never
life ain't
again.
for me. I don't care what's happening.
Yeah. So no Valorant party this time. Next Masters will be good. But Masters is kind of exciting. Sentinels did go 0-2, so that's sad. Lots of American fans are bummed. G2 is still in the playoffs, so that's good. The 4 big playoffs team, 1 from each major region. Edward Gaming, the world champs from last year from China, they are 2-0. They're into playoffs. Team Vitality is not important last year, but now it's kind of like a super team. Durka was the best player on Fnatic. Fnatic let him go. Vitality picked him up. And then one of the best players on Loud, the Brazilian team from last year, went to Vitality too.
Wow, okay.
So Vitality's really stacked, and they are 2-0 going into playoffs. So it's those two. And then T1, that a lot of people thought was the worst team coming into Masters, 2-1. So they're doing well. They just beat the other Korean team, DRX, and 2 of their players used to be on DRX. There's a really fun clip of a guy, Buzz, who used to be like the duelist for DRX, like standing up in their game, saying in English so that he can clout farm. And he's like, "Who's the best team in Korea now?" And then he sits back down. It was really funny. And then Sentinels kind of flamed out. Their first loss was to DRX. They lost 0-2 in their Lotus game, and that game was 13-3 they lost, so that was a bummer. And it wasn't even the worst one, because then when they lost to Team Liquid, who historically has been an absolutely terrible team. Like at least early matches this year, some matches last year, they were looking gross. They've started coming together, but Sentinels on their last map versus Liquid lost 13-1 on Bind. So that was how they exited the. That's how they exited the America's favorite team exited the tournament like that. So they're a little bummed, but G2's playing well. It'll be good going forward at 4 a.m. and 7 a.m. Yeah.
I need to write something so I don't forget.
Oh, the time for the next Valorant game, which is, as I've already written, on the 27th at 4 a.m. Mark your calendars. So this Thursday, we may come out just in time for you to watch, although it's going to be at 4 a.m., so you probably won't. Mm-hmm. But on Thursday, the 27th, you can watch some highlights of some good games.
You should also mark your calendars for August 13th, 2027.
Okay.
Why are the people going to buy a planner for 2027 this far? Sorry.
August 13th, 2027 is when he releases his fully polished game.
Oh.
Yeah.
2027.
I'm your publisher. There is now a due date.
Interesting.
Well, Forrest, talk to us about your pre-alpha.
Yeah.
Set for 2027.
I mean, if anybody has actually been following along here, you do know that I have been dabbling in the game development. First, we started with Fortnite, right? And just getting our chops wet.
Club heist, yeah?
Yeah, it was
Flag heist in the club.
Flag heist in the club. And that got me familiar enough with Unreal where I'm just like, I got to do my own project, a standalone project in Unreal. And Unreal is great. Find out it is super, super hard to optimize the game for it.
It's impossible. And we will talk about that later.
Yeah, but so another buddy of mine, AMS in the Discord, he used to work with me when he lived here. He's since moved to back to Chicago where he's from. And but we, staying very close, and I knew he wanted to make a video game someday. And so I was like, dude, I have this idea for this game. And I really feel like you're the guy that could really help me get this going. And so we did. We started on a game. I'm not going to go into too many details because I want to keep wraps on it. What ended up happening is it's a multiplayer game, and so when we went into it, it's like we were designing and creating everything with that in mind, and trying to make sure that what Unreal calls replication, that you have to replicate the object and what that object is doing in not only the server but all the clients that are communicating with the server, right? Mm-hmm. And so we're having to keep this in the back of our minds when we're creating everything, and we're having to test it against this. And it's just it slowed down the project so much to an irritating level that we were both just getting really burnt out on it. And so I was watching Donkey. Do you guys are familiar with Donkey?
Video game Donkey, yeah.
He owns a game publishing company now because he's gotten so big. He's actually in Wisconsin.
Really? I didn't know that.
So he's lived in Milwaukee and Madison throughout his life. And he has a publishing company called Big Time. And every year now for I think the last 3 years, no, this might have been the second one, he's done a game jam.
I didn't know it was him who did the game jam. Yeah. That's so cool.
So he's got a game jam that lasts 10 days. So your team, it has to be 5 people or less. And if you participate, you have to make the game from scratch with that time frame. Mm-hmm. And it has to be in relative to a theme that they reveal on day 1 of the game jam. And so I was like, dude, what better way to actually learn Unreal and learn how to make a game than just doing this game jam?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. And so we locked it in. And the theme ended up being power. And, he actually had a honeymoon-ish, they're just fiancés right now, but he had a honeymoon-ish weekend that night, or that weekend planned for the beginning. So I had to do it solo for the very first weekend. But he messages me because he saw the theme before me, and he's like, I don't even know what to do. What a silly theme, power. It's so
generic.
Yeah, generic and wide. And I'm just like, well, the first thing I thought of
Nietzsche Simulator
is No.
Really?
Yeah.
You grow your mustache over time?
Imagine. It was just like a superhero, like jumping up and like punching the ground, right? And I was just like, oh, we could do something with that. Like maybe he just like hops, like a dude just keeps hopping and punching the ground. I'm like, no, that just seems kind of silly. And then I was like, well, what if he punched and then like his fist kept on getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and then the bigger his fist was, the longer he lunged when he punched. And so like it becomes like a rocket essentially, almost, right?
Yeah.
And so yeah, that's the idea that Kivian liked it. He's like, oh yeah, that sounds awesome. I'm like, yeah, let's do it. And so yeah, One Punch Guy became a reality, and we just crunched it for I worked on it every single day on that 10 days. He worked it on every single day that he could after he got back.
Wow. And it did so well, you showed up here in your jet.
Yeah.
I mean, right.
Absolutely.
But
yeah, Taylor Swift actually had to delay her arrival.
So
she had planned,
so like you submit it, and then like Donkey's game development is just getting a lot more popular, right? And B, Donkey is just getting a lot more known. So he had over 800 entrants into this game jam. Wow. So there wasn't even enough time for everyone to review everything. So we had zero eyes on it. I think
but
like
you have the experience.
Two people like outside of the Discord reviewed it or whatever.
Yeah.
One guy says One Punch Guy's my hero or whatever. So like one of the guys really liked it.
I really took a lot from this game. We start here at the beginning where One Punch Guy is just walking down the road, yada just writes this whole like crazy script.
Oh my gosh! But yeah, so it's just a really easy game where you just punch, and hopefully you collect enough of the baddies that increase your power, right? Yeah. And the idea is that we want to turn it into a mobile game and actually see how it does. But we've got so much polish before it gets.
My only qualm about your story is that it wasn't super easy when I played. I struggled. You have hard. These green triangles who are. I respect it too, and it also just made me feel old in a way that like I feel like a lot of games should, right? Yeah. But you've got these three different shapes in different colors that come toward you at different speeds, and it's the big pink red ones that give you the power, right? Right. But it's the small green pyramid triangles that come at you, the cones that come at you fastest, and I consistently died to them. I did so bad.
Well, it's a rogue game, right?
Yeah.
So it's like you die, you have to start over. That's the intent of it. Yeah. And it's just supposed to be like a power fantasy, like something you could do within like 10 to 15 minutes.
And for those of you watching, just to give you an idea, this is not like some first-person view punch or anything. The best way to view this is like 16. It's like 3D, 16-bit, very simple, isometric view. Yeah.
Well, the perspective is Diablo's, right?
Yeah.
That's the perspective.
Like
that I went after.
It's like a slight slanted isometric view.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's simple.
It is.
It was cool to see that you like made something so fast.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And the fact that you were able to deliver it to me, I just downloaded it, ran it as an executable. Boom, game goes.
Right.
I was like,
has a splash screen, a menu.
That's super cool. And then my computer started running GPU at 100% and CPU at 100%.
That's what I'm saying. I have no idea how to optimize the engine right now.
And then when I closed the game, it was still running at and I'm like, And I check my network activity, and it's at like 50% usage. I'm like, this motherfucker. This guy's mining.
Network?
I'm memeing,
bro. Okay. I was like, whoa, I didn't have that. That was itch.io.
Oh, that's awesome.
It was really cool to see.
If you do want to play the first like alpha of it, it is on itch.io.
Yeah.
You can look it up as One Punch Guy. But I'm hoping I can get an actual like updated release to you guys in the next couple of weeks. Me and Kivian have been slow to update it now.
Yeah, I want a wiki for it. Like I want to know what each enemy does, their movement speed, their HP.
Sure. Yeah.
What did I get by hitting? Because that to me was actually more frustrating than how hard it was to play. I didn't know what I was doing.
Well,
why am I going around murdering these things? They could be good guys.
They're shapes.
Right. They're supposed to be robots.
They're different.
Eventually they'll be like little drones.
Gotcha.
And
maybe with like an angry eye, so you don't have to wonder why you hurt them. They're angry at you.
Well, the idea is that you like. So this is one of end game ideas is that you're in a dome, like an energy dome, and you're put there by an AI to test how this modified human can evolve or whatever based on fighting these drones, right? I see. If you punch at the end of the energy field, then your character actually goes flipping back towards the center of the map, and so that's like a reset mechanic. So that you can actually, like, if you start getting too swarmed, you can just punch and then you go flying over them all, and then you can kind of reset your bearings.
That is sweet.
So, I mean, there'll be a little tiny story that develops into, I want to put my full effort into it, right?
There's a game that I want to show you, too, that I would love for you to make almost an exact copycat, but with some of your own version to it. Remind me to show it to you later.
Okay. Was it Battle Right? Because you were really into that game.
Nothing that complex. Nothing that complex.
Well, it's like in this game, like, it's a very basic action, but it's setting that foundation so that I do have the ability to make these action games, right? Because eventually I do want to make an esports game, like 100%.
Yeah. That would be amazing.
Yeah,
and I will help you balance it.
I'll play it. I'll watch the esports. I'll cheer.
Cheer.
Yeah.
So I have like 30. Oh, go ahead.
I just want a real quick question. Did you get to see any of the other games that were submitted to the Jam? And was there anything that stuck out to you?
Ton.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, he did 3 days of streaming of games that like his team picked out and thought it'd be cool if he played.
Were some of them just like utterly insane?
Insane. Like, because like people entering this aren't doing this as a first time thing, right?
Yeah,
some of them are doing it so that their studio gets noticed, their indie studio.
Yeah, I guess it's not just a for fun thing; it's actually serious.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's advertising.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah. Wow. And obviously we weren't able to get into like the eyes and hearts of like thousands or millions or whatever, but I mean, we still got connected with a few people.
I think it's more
got to know
important
some
for
people
yourself.
in the Discord. But yes, that is the main thing, right?
That's cool.
It's proof that it can be done.
Yeah, that's right.
And now that I have proof, it's like, well,
make
now
it work.
Only I'm in my own way, right?
Yeah. Make it work before you make it perfect.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna rapid fire spitta all these different things.
Okay.
All right,
I'm ready.
Is this about the optimization?
Because the rapid fire spitting will be until like 8 o'clock. That's how many different things there are. So I just want to.
They're gonna hit us like the green cone.
He just needs to get some stuff off of his chest.
Yeah, I want to make sure that like, are we?
It's not just his shirt.
I don't want to pull away from any other topics that you guys want to talk about.
I just want to say though, this is what happens when we take too long of a break.
Okay. Well, some of us need.
Yeah, I can say that one thing.
I'm excited to be back. What if I wasn't excited?
Oh,
to be here?
You will always be excited.
All right. All right. So, first of all, Nvidia.
Yeah. What a bag of worms.
Okay. This is really good for 40 series owners. It's the best news of your life.
Teach me.
Because anyone who got like a 4070 and above, their card normally will lose, let's say I'm using I don't remember what 4070s went for MSRP. I'm going to use easy numbers. Let's say it was a $500 card. When the next generation comes out, depending on how good it is, you can expect that card to be $400 now, or like maybe even $350 if it was like a crazy jump. Nope, your $500 card, as it stands right now, is now worth $550.
So it is increased in value.
It is increased in value.
Well, they're easier to find.
Yep. Because first of all, Nvidia has just fumbled this launch so bad, it feels worse than incompetence. It feels like there are bad actors in Nvidia that we just don't know about. I mean, it's just terrible, okay? So they launched the card right before Chinese New Year. A lot of people don't know that Chinese New Year, it's like a month-long holiday.
Yeah.
They close down the shops. Everyone goes home. And so they launched this card. It is suspected by Gamers Nexus that less than 450 90s. They went around. They actually found box serial numbers with like one of 67, one of 15 of 20, and they added up all the reviewer boxes because the boxes for these reviewers were coming from stores. So like Jay had to go get his review sample from Micro Center.
Wow.
And so they added it all up. There were less than 400 or whatever 5090s for the entire United States at launch day.
That doesn't make any sense.
There were less, according to, I believe, like, if I remember correctly, there were less than like 4,000 5080s.
Holy shit.
So is the idea that like
it's just a paper launch. It's not a real launch.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
And so it's like, okay, what is going on here? That was a huge fail. Okay. Oh, and to make this worse, they stopped production of 4,000 series cards like 6 months ago. So if you wanted something, it was hard. It was hard. I mean, the prices didn't really jump up, which is weird. But availability was low. Yeah. But if you could get like a 4080 Super for $1,000, you were like ecstatic, even knowing that 50 series was launching in 6 months, just because it was just hard to get cards, you know. Yeah. Okay, so that right there, big what the heck? It gets so much worse. It gets so much worse. Okay, as you two know, Quinn has ordered a really high-end system for me, and our plan was a 5090.
Yeah.
The 5090's performance is absolute dog water. The 5080's performance is terrible. It's terrible. You're looking at a 12 to 15% increase over the 4080 Super, which is just it's why would you even unmount
so what's
your
the
card?
Give me an layperson. What should I be expecting for a new generation of cards? Like not 12 to 15%.
For 80 series to 80 series, you want at least a 25%.
Okay.
Minimum.
Yeah.
Minimum.
Right. Got it.
I typically tell people don't do a GPU upgrade unless you're getting a 60 or 70% upgrade.
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense.
So it's like, you would skip a gen, you know?
The this launch in particular, though, is really gimmicky because it seems like they're trying to put all this hype on what the frame generation
multi-frame
can do.
generation.
Right.
Dude, I'm getting to it. Hang on. Let me get to the...
Sure.
Let me get to... I want to pick what I think is the worst to the heaviest. Okay, so the value proposition for these cards that aren't even out there is terrible.
Yep.
Then you have Nvidia stating that the 5070 is going to be equal to a 4090.
Yeah.
Which is... absolute. Of course, Jensen says, and this wouldn't be possible without AI. So yes, we're getting into multi-frame generation, where bigger number better. You go from 60 FPS to 240 FPS, but the latency is not 200 FPS, right. 40 FPS. So for a while, people say, like, how many FPS can it do? That is a misnomer. That's not a correct term.
Right.
What you need to have, it's more accurate to say what's the hertz of the monitor, because you can have a 60 hertz monitor and it will only display 60 FPS of frame rate, but you could be driving a 60 hertz monitor at 200 FPS, right? So
the hertz is the bottleneck.
The hertz is the bottleneck, but it's actually even more disingenuous to say that because frame rate is generally not perfectly locked. And so 60 FPS is actually 16.4 milliseconds of input latency.
I see, yeah.
The best way to think about frame rate is to actually think about that number of input latency, frame to frame latency. For your whole system, we call it TSL, total system latency. Okay. So you go from 60 FPS to 240 FPS. You are not going from 16.4 milliseconds to 4.2 milliseconds.
Right.
That is not happening.
No.
Nope. You're going from 16.4 milliseconds to, I believe, 18.4 milliseconds.
Oh, so it increases latency.
Yes.
Because the processing
it takes
for
processing for that.
Frame gen, yeah. So it looks smoother,
when
but it
when
feels
you're playing
more sluggish.
it feels sluggish, but it looks smooth.
Right.
Weird.
And so for anything but a slow-moving single-player game, it's like,
right.
Ugh.
Right.
Ugh. Okay. Still
but
not
only
the end
with
of the
frame
world.
gen on.
Yep. Still not the end of the world. Here we go. Here's the bad thing. 5090s are catching on fire and melting.
Oh,
Jesus
crap.
Christ.
I didn't even see that.
Yep.
Oh,
just
God.
like 3090 Ti's were.
Yeah.
The power connector is not handling these cards very well.
Damn.
it can go up to 575 watts on these pins. And just to give viewers at home some idea, most space heaters are between 1,200 and 1,600 watts. And they use like grounded sockets.
Yep.
This thing is doing a third of a space heater with these little pins.
So you think they need grounds now at that power, huh?
Oh, I mean, people have been memeing on it with the 3090 came out.
Yeah.
About like, why don't, because apparently really old graphics cards, like before I even played on a computer, they actually had
ground plugs.
Yeah, they actually just had their own cable for power.
Oh.
Yeah, they had their own power
Right.
cable. Yeah. They don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
But some people are
And it would
like, we
come
just
out
need
of
to
the
bring that.
back.
Yeah, just like
Yeah.
your power supply.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm okay with that.
No, there's issues. There's other issues. I don't want to digress into that too much.
Yeah.
So these connectors are burning. Call of Duty at 4K with ray tracing will pull 550 watts. Most of the ray tracing games are above 500 watts at 4K. And if you hit, and some people found out if you use a custom solution and make your screen 8K, it'll pull 600 watts.
Damn.
Yeah. So we're having a lot of these cables are melting.
Right.
Okay.
Naturally.
Which there is some user error there. It's not all user error, but there is some user error if you don't plug them in perfectly. Okay.
Or if you use like a daisy chain or something.
Right. Or if you use a third-party cable.
Yeah. Don't want to do that.
Do not do that with your 5090. Don't do it. And then it doesn't end, man.
Oh, no.
It gets worse. There was a manufacturing defect with 5090s and 5070 Ti's. Nvidia knew, did not tell anyone.
What?
They are missing ROPs.
What is it? Oh.
And
the
they
processing thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
And most of them are missing 8 ROPs. It is just now learned, now that more people are learning to look for them, some of them are missing 16 ROPs. 11 to 20%
Wow.
degradation in gaming.
Oh.
Your 5090 is instantly slower
Than your 40.
than your 4080 Super.
Gross.
And the amount of tech illiterate people that just go, I just want the biggest, baddest thing.
Right,
and they don't know to even look.
Well, not that they could get one anyway.
They're-
It's only
they're not
500
even-
out there.
Yeah.
Well,
Now
there's more
400.
now. I'm talking on release. It's
Oh,
now
okay.
been a month.
Okay,
But
okay.
my point is like these people who just bought the biggest, baddest thing, they're not even going to know that they're getting 20% less performance.
No, of course.
Well, yeah, because their computer's going to burn down before they can even test it.
Yeah. So NVIDIA,
the benchmark. just
this is so ridiculous. All right. And I don't know if you guys heard about DeepSeek. Did you
Yes.
guys hear about
The
DeepSeak?
AI,
Okay, good.
yes.
I'm so glad that came out, dude. NVIDIA lost the single largest amount of money ever recorded in the stock market ever.
Yes.
I have a good friend who
Because
used
it
to
was
work at
open
Nvidia, and he has
source.
been beating himself up about selling their stock a while back. And I'm going to reach out to him, and I'm going to say that you don't have to have sour grapes anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, it was the largest. It was like the largest stock market loss ever in recorded history.
Really?
It was
In
nuts.
one day or whatever. I mean, it was just like, it was absurd. For a single company, I should state, not like the 2008.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
All right. So all that is absolute garbage. And
Just like NVIDIA.
If you have a 40 series card, keep it. And if you have a 3080 Ti or above, keep it.
So what
Skip
if
this gen.
what happens with our 3080 buddies?
3080s, it's worth getting a 5080
No defects in that one?
that we know of.
Yeah. I'll wait. Yeah, I'll wait.
So here's the other thing.
I mean,
Here's
I'm
the other thing.
perfectly
The
fine
good
as
thing-
a 3080 user. I'm perfectly fine waiting another year.
Here's the cool
I
thing.
really am.
Here's the cool thing is that
Because I don't want to reward NVIDIA anyway for this. Right?
the new DLSS model 4.0,
Okay.
they gave it to 40 series owners. And it is a serious improvement.
Oh.
It is so big of an improvement. You take
What about a 4080 Super then? How does that look right now?
it looks really good.
Is
If
that
you
why it
can
gained
get one-
value?
Dude, even if you could get one for $1,000,
Yeah.
which is MSRP,
Yeah.
which theoretically it should be, it's a great buy.
Yeah.
Like I would buy a 4080 Super for a customer right now for $1,000. I wouldn't
Oh,
even
yeah.
sweat.
Nice.
Wouldn't even sweat.
Yeah.
Be like, because this new transformer model, a lot of people are scratching their heads. So like, why isn't NVIDIA like gatekeeping this to 50 series? It's that good. Like I've seen some videos, and it's like magic, dude.
Wow.
It's like magic, especially the older games. The aliasing, like TAA, which looks so bad in so many games, cleans it right up.
Whoa.
Cleans it right up. It's a free driver install, dude.
How about the latency on it? Improve at all?
Well, it's not so much that DLSS isn't frame generation, so it's not the same.
True. Just
those are different
sampling.
technologies. Yeah. So, but anyways, yeah, if you can get a 4070 Ti Super or a 4080 Super for MSRP, that is a great deal right now.
Okay.
Like, do it.
Okay.
Do it. Yeah. Okay. Boom. Nvidia dump.
Holy
out
crap.
The water.
We got
we did. We
Other drama. Linus and GN going at each other's throats. This is pretty much over now, and nobody really wants to talk about it.
Yeah.
That's what you told us when we asked if we should put it on the podcast. You're like, oh, everyone's over with.
I'm going to just say real quick, now that it's all blown through, I'm pretty sure Linus is in the right.
Okay.
I think Steve is kind of being a jerk, but I'm still going to watch a bunch of Steve videos. I'm still going to watch less of Linus videos. Just because I prefer I just prefer GN's content delivery. Yeah. I am more of a numbers guy when it comes to this stuff.
True. Yeah.
But I think Steve is pretty much way out of line. Apparently, there's going to be some one-on-one private reconciliation at Computext, which is soon. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I think it was really stupid. I think GN was acting a fool, and even GN's full subreddit was just constantly like, "What are you guys doing? This is really stupid." All right,
just seemed petty.
Moving on. League of Legends. This kind of goes to what you have here. Is Valorant Esports just a commercial for skin sales? I have not been following what Riot's doing with Valorant with their monetary pricing structure.
It's pretty much the same as always.
But
Sucks.
Leagues has gotten 10 times worse in the last 3 weeks.
Really?
They are releasing gacha skins. The math on it is the average one skin is $185 now.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
We have skins that were $14 that look just as good as these new $185 skins.
Yeah. At least Valorant has night market.
This is all Genshin Impact's fault,
Yeah, because it worked.
It worked, and Riot's like, we're going to do that too.
Mm-hmm.
So Tencent decides what Riot does monetarily.
Riot literally said, we have to change some ways to our models to pay the bills.
Right.
And it's like the data must show that whales are all that's buying stuff now.
Oh, of course.
Because I have to think about it anecdotally. I looked in the last 18 months. I've only bought $40 of skins because I have all the stuff that I want.
Sure, of course. Well, and that's why you don't care about Hextech's
right
going
away.
I
don't. Yeah,
I don't know who actually does. I don't know why it's such a big
think the
deal.
community just doesn't want to see something free be pulled out, especially when you see that these skins are going for crazy prices. But
you couldn't get characters out of Hextech, could you? Mm-hmm. Oh, you could? Mm-hmm. Okay.
But it's so hard. Someone like me would say, you guys don't know how good you got it making new accounts these days.
Sure.
It used to take you a year to get account level 30.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it took me 5 years to unlock half the characters in the game.
Oh, wow. Dang.
Now you can do that in a year. You can unlock.
Well, you can't do that at all anymore, right? Because the Hextechs?
No, the amount of blue essence you get is just crazy.
Oh, the blue essence is usually
it's so crazy, dude. Dude, it used to take me 50 hours per champion. Okay. Yeah. It's crazy.
I mean, I have the Game Pass, so I just get them all for free.
Yeah,
so I don't even know the grind.
Yeah, and that's what Riot needs to do. They need to get some sort of subscription model going that's optional. Make an optional subscription model.
It's Game Pass.
No, for skins.
Oh.
Make an optional subscription model.
They'll never do that.
It's probably optional.
It's the
Are they thinking that? Yeah, they must just be thinking that the whales are paying enough to come.
I'm not saying you add those whale skins into the skin line for
That's
optional.
Fair. That's fair.
Anyways, I want announcer packs. I want map skins. All right, whatever. All right, moving on.
Summer's 15.
Game development. Everyone subscribe to Threat Interactive.
Threat
Interactive on YouTube.
Okay.
If you're into game design and also understanding why games look so bad, even though they're newer now, how game design actually peaked in 2015, 2016. Yes. Okay. You will love this guy.
Okay.
He takes shots at every everybody.
And it's just because everyone's taking shortcuts now when it comes to generating these.
Yeah. But also, he really talks about how like Nvidia and AMD really push actually what these devs are doing.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. And it's really interesting.
So they get
his
kickbacks
videos are short.
for
No,
doing
it's
it a
not
certain
that.
way?
It's just like he'll even say Nvidia are the only people that care about graphics.
About ray tracing.
Yeah, they push, but it's how they do it. Yeah,
I'll have to watch.
They're not long videos. They're like 12 to 16 minutes.
Yeah,
and he doesn't
great.
post often.
If I watch that on
post often.
2x, that's one poo.
But
I mean, I need to know anyway because I'm getting into
yeah. So watch Threat Interactive. I think he's fantastic. And one good news for League of Legends, the biggest change up to the game, which I think is going to happen in fighting games,
Okay.
is this Fearless Draft.
Fearless draft.
Yep. So this draft style is once a champion is picked or banned, it's gone for the remaining rounds. And it's starting to gain speed over every single region in League of Legends. And we're pretty sure by next year, even the World Finals is going to have this draft.
Wait, so how long does the draft pick last then?
So
Is it
for
like
the
gonna
best
be
of 5.
For the whole set?
Yeah, so over 50 characters can be
You think
eliminated.
that'll be put in the game somehow?
Well, it wouldn't work for solo queue.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there's the mode called Clash where you can have a team and play like a series. But it's
tournament formats though.
it's like increased viewership by like it brought it back to like pre 2018 levels. Like the viewership is spiked because these boring metas.
These
boring metas
do that.
Oh,
I'm
Overwatch,
telling you, this is going to happen.
Overwatch Esports just introduced hero bans. And they don't have near the roster, so they're not going to be able to do something like a fearless draft. But they're also, I forgot, we haven't been on. They're considering. It might be more recent. I heard the latest news I heard was like a week and a half ago. But they were considering bringing 6v6 back. Remember the thing that was the main difference between Overwatch and Overwatch 2?
I mean, Marvel Rivals has made 6v6 pretty popular. So.
Yeah, it has.
Hey, I'll give them kudos if they go back. That is one of the coolest things that I do like about Riot is if the feedback is bad enough, they will just revert.
Sure.
They've done that with like individual champion things, and they've done it with other stuff too. That hex tech stuff is brutal. Riot cannot post anything right now.
No, they can't.
If they do, there's nothing about anything that's not hex text. It's like it's unreal. Every
Those
single
are the things
YouTube
I needed
video,
the keys for, right?
Yes.
I don't know if I ever got a key.
There's this one guy that
Well, you
I
probably
watch,
don't. You probably don't play enough.
He does league content.
Or like,
Does it have to be Summoner's Rift?
yeah.
Okay,
mostly,
then that's why.
Yeah.
That's why. Never mind.
They'll bring him back for the MMO.
Yeah. But anyways, this fearless draft, I have always loved this because I hate one tricking. I'm like the antithesis of Bruce Lee's. Like, I don't fear a man that's practiced 1,000 punches. I fear a man who's practiced one punch 1,000 times or 1,000,000 or whatever. Yeah. It's like that to me is boring.
Yeah.
Like because
it's boring but efficient.
in game design, there is going to be one kit that just counters that perfectly.
Sure.
And whoever gets to pick first wins.
Well, Smash
picks last.
Smash has a huge problem with that right now.
And that's what I'm saying. Smash has a large enough roster.
Yes.
Where you can do some.
Well, that's
you can
what I
introduce
don't
some
get.
pick
Because I was
banning.
watching Genesis because I'm like getting into Smash again for whatever reason.
Yeah.
A buddy of mine at work picked it up, and he's a really competitive guy. And so I've been teaching him everything I've learned over the last decade, right? So he's kind of become my apprentice, and it's super cool because I still absolutely destroy him.
There can only be two.
But he's sucking it up, and like now he's watching pro play and everything, so it's like getting me vibed with it again. And so like I actually watched Genesis, but there's so many one trick dudes where it's like if they just picked up a second character that they could bring into the matchup, they probably win that set. And they have to stick with their main, and it doesn't matter how bad the matchup is, they're going back to their main. And I'm just like. This like the best Steve player in the world. Steve is like crazy busted, right?
He's so busted.
But guess
that
what?
That champion does not belong.
But guess what?
Smash.
He actually has a hard counter, and that's Snake. Really? And Snake ended up winning Genesis
because of Snake's mechanics.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because Snake doesn't allow Steve to do what he actually wants. Because Snake actually wants to be the passive one.
Right.
And Steve can't rush him down because of all Snake's utility. And can't punish anything that's above a certain threshold.
But imagine if Snake wasn't in the game, right?
But if Snake wasn't in the game, he wins. But at the same time, if that player had a secondary...
Oh, sure,
because Snakes has so many bad matchups.
Oh, right. But they just can't take advantage of it.
But they can't take advantage of it because they're all one-trick ponies. And the Snake guy, too. Like
I think
he had the perfect bracket for him to win that tournament, right?
Just Steve mains?
No, it wasn't just Steve mains, but it's like every single game he played.
If I were to...
Snake is pretty, he's okay, right?
If I were to guess, I just think in FGC, egos are so much different than they are in games with multiple characters. Because, even in my collective where we have one-trick ponies that are really good, people don't really talk about how good they are at their character. It's like you're just a good top laner. Mm-hmm. You're just a good mid laner.
Yeah.
And it is, especially in competitive, the number one thing they care about is how good you are on how many champs. If you're amazingly good but only on 3, you're gonna get passed up for someone who's pretty good on 10.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just gonna happen a lot. The better the team you get, the more that will happen, you know? Because you're just gonna get targeted in ban face. And it's I think the reason FGC, these big FGC people don't move to this is the players are in so much control. And they're like, dude, I don't want to have to learn a new character. Right. I just want to keep the status quo.
Yep.
But the viewership would explode.
Well, all the more reason why 2X KO is going to hit so hard because guess what? It's a tag team game. You have to control 2 characters.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm sure
there's going to be certain synergies, of course.
I don't know if there's going to be bans.
I don't think there's going to be bans. But the thing is the characters you choose are going to complement each other.
Yeah, it's just going to be meta, though. They're going to be viewed as one person.
No, we'll see. We'll see. Especially if we can actually get 2v2 tournaments going where each character is actually piloted by an actual person because it is meant for that.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah. And I always really like
we're going to have a lot of
Smash.
PS5s, so we're do a lot of tournaments.
I can't wait. I'm actually going to grind that game. I want to get good at it. I'd rather play that over Summoner's Rift. So,
Speaking of PS5s, my last topic. So we're purchasing all these PS5s. I think our grand total is going to be at 36 when we're all done.
Huh.
And I plugged a keyboard and mouse into it just to see how it felt on a 120 hertz game.
Yeah.
Dude, indistinguishable.
Really?
From PC. Yeah, I was like, wow, okay, this is pretty cool. I'm excited about this.
So you're just going to pwn noobs with keyboard and mouse?
Well, I'm just...
Wait, so what game are you playing with keyboard and mouse then?
I just threw up on Fortnite just to see what it felt like.
You mean you threw down?
Yeah, keyboard and mouse, yeah. Feels great.
On PlayStation?
Yeah. I don't play Fortnite, but I could tell that my mouse and keyboard had no latency.
You got the aiming and how did I not know this was...
Wait, you didn't know that?
What the hell?
It's just plug and play instantly.
Huh. Insane.
How did you... Wait, I swear there's no way you wouldn't know this.
I didn't
He's been too busy developing games.
No, it's just... I didn't know that was a legitimate controller scheme.
Yeah, you can't use the mouse on the OS. So you still need a controller.
Okay, weird.
But I think
not even with the up-down keys?
I haven't checked on the keyboard.
We should check.
But
do you have one here?
A PlayStation here?
Yeah. Okay, I'll check when I get home.
But I mean, you're gonna have your controller near you anyways.
Of course.
That's how you wake up the PlayStation.
Yeah,
so
of course.
It doesn't really matter. But
how wacky!
Yeah, that's crazy.
Try this.
That's why Age of Empires 4
is coming to the PlayStation.
It's already on it.
Oh, what the hell?
Yeah, so people play keyboard and mouse. Same thing with Age of Empires 2. That's only on Xbox, I believe. But Age of Empires 4, I'm pretty sure it's on PlayStation.
The only thing now they need...
I know it's on Xbox.
The only thing now that they need is the ability to share your screen through Discord. And it'll literally be a PC.
So, my thing is, we're buying all these PS5s, right?
Yeah.
PS6 is rumored to come out in not even 3 years.
Yeah.
Which is
You'll be able to trade them in. You'll get a good trading credit for that.
Yeah, I guess, but it just feels bad. But I'm just wondering how many people are even going to want to upgrade because many people did not get their PS5s in the first 2 years. Mm-hmm. So for a lot of people, it's only even been a 3-year life cycle so far.
Maybe, I guess. I don't
Think
know.
about it. I mean, dude, it was so hard to get a PlayStation when it first came out.
Not for this guy, but I've got magic.
Yeah,
when it
you
comes
somehow
to
get stuff so fast.
I get everything launched in.
But yeah, I'm pretty stoked, and so like seeing this and seeing that Microsoft is really trying to like just let PlayStation do whatever they want.
Yeah. Well, PlayStation's starting to come around too.
Well,
Halo is rumored to be coming to PlayStation now.
So like my point is, like, dude, do I even have a PC cafe?
Right. Do you have a PlayStation
Don't I just
cafe?
have like a PlayStation cafe?
Hell yeah. That works.
So much cheaper. And then I could do OLEDs on every single system.
Yeah, of course.
And still be cheaper than a PC.
Right. And Sony's optimization on their cards, dude. Like, it doesn't get any better.
I know.
They're so beautiful.
It's an interesting thought. Anyways.
I love the idea of that.
I love the idea of it too.
We could even rock the branding and everything, like make it real PlayStation vibey.
Well, we could get Displate to make us like edge plates.
Sure.
So funny.
Oh my god.
But anyways, yeah. I don't know. Parts of me just wanted to buy pros for everyone.
Yeah, of course.
But it's just $700.
It's not necessary.
It's not necessary.
It's really not.
But I probably will buy five pros because
at least 4, right? 5 for what game?
I just want 5, like in a line. Yeah. But anyways,
I mean, you kind of need 6 now that Overwatch is coming back. So
yeah, we'll see.
One person's gonna play Mercy.
You know what's crazy?
You get a regular.
Is you think about it, Forrest, you could even do that for your own, like a personal basement setup.
Yeah, right.
You know, it's like, hey, I just want to have the boys over. Like, you think about it, like a TV's $2,000. Do you know how much five PS5s and monitors are? Also $2,000.
Yeah, right.
Like, it's like, I mean, $2,000 is a lot of money, but like, it's not that much for like what you're getting. It's kind of crazy,
doing.
actually.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, pretty cool.
Sony has been the Xbox killer for a long time now.
Well, ever since PS4.
Right.
360 Xbox ruled the day. PS3 was not a very good PlayStation launch. So, all right, cool. I'm ready to call it.
How about that?
I am too.
Welcome
back, everybody.
We're back.
It's good to see you. I'm sure it's good to see us. That's what I think every day I look in the mirror.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. It's been real. We will be back shortly. Give us 2 weeks. And let me know in the comments if any of you are waking up for Masters Bangkok in the 4 a.m. club.
It's going to be 0 comments.
But, well, let me know when you wake up, if you do,
That's better.
for Masters Bangkok. Yeah.
Not when, just when do you wake up?
Preferably for the event. But if you really care, let me know. Have a great day, everyone.
See you guys.
We'll see you.